Hey everybody, welcome back to math. Um, so you guys have 7-12 at home because I sent that home with you last week when we packed up. And I want to walk through this with you, but what I was able to do is find an online copy of the homework sheet. So since I was able to pull this up on the screen, I'm going to go through the homework sheet with you. You don't have a homework sheet, so we're going to almost kind of flip-flop these two assignments. So we're going to do the homework sheet together, and then you can do this sheet on your own. So the activity we normally do in class together, and then you do the homework on your own. So we're just going to flip-flop it. Um, and then I will also walk through this with you before I release you. So let's take a peek at the circle graph. So again, we're working on circle graphs, and it has a name. The name is Toys in the Box. And you can see we have 7 airplanes, 4 buses, 3 boats, 8 cars, and 6 trucks. A little bit hard for me to read this. It's kind of blurry, but bear with me. So we're going to answer the questions below. So number 1, there is 1 fewer truck than there are what? All right, so remember the whole purpose of a graph is to help us organize our information or our data so that we can compare, contrast, look at trends like what people like, what people don't like, what's popular, what's not popular. There's all kinds of reasons why graphs are important. So in this case, it's just telling us how many toys are in a box, and now we're going to look at this picture, this graph, to answer these questions. So back to number 1, there is 1 fewer truck than there are. So we're going to find the trucks. There are 6 trucks. So if there is 1 fewer truck than something else in this picture, what could it be? So if it's 1 fewer, we know that we're looking for something that's 1 more. So what's 1 more than 6? We can see airplanes is 7. So your answer here would be airplanes. And I don't think I can actually write on this. Let me see. I'm just kind of playing. Oh, maybe I can. Kind of learning this as we go. Okay, airplanes. Okay, I can click on that little circle there. All right, number 2. There are 2 more trucks than there are. So 2 more trucks than there are. So we need to find something that's 2 less. So 2 less than 6 would be what? 6 minus 2 is 4. So we know the answer would be buses. So we'll fill in that circle here. Buses, okay. There are 5 fewer boats than there are what? 5 fewer boats. So we're looking at the boats. It says 3. Now we need to add 5 to that 3 to find out which one has 5 more than. Kind of reword the question to say it kind of opposite or backwards. So 5 plus 3 is 8. And I see that there are 8 cars, so we're going to select cars. How many cars, boats, and airplanes are there in the box? So this is one of those all together questions, or not even all together because we're not adding all of them up, but we're going to add up cars, boats, and airplanes. Let's see, airplanes are 7, boats are 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. And if we add in the 8 for the cars, we get 18. And this is our answer. Okay, and one more. What is the total number of buses and trucks in the box? The total number of buses, so we have buses is 4, trucks is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Click on the 10. Okay, so this is how we would use a graph to answer questions, to analyze the information, to compare, contrast the different parts of that graph. Okay, now I'm going to make my screen big, I think. Here we go. All right, Now I'm going to show you this sheet. This is the sheet that you guys have, 7-12. So we're going to take a look at our circle graph. And let me turn this way so I can read it. How Casey spent her babysitting money. All right, so she bought some clothes. She had a movie rental. We don't really rent movies anymore. We used to rent movies. You had to go to the movie store and rent a movie and bring it home. I guess we still have Redbox, kind of that same idea. Games. She spent $4 on games, $2 on snacks, $4 she saved. Again, $5 on clothing and $1 on renting a movie. Okay, so the question says, tell 2 things the graph shows. So I want you to look at that information. I want you to write 2 or more things that this graph is telling you. Okay. Now don't just think of this category, she spent this much, and this category, she spent this much. Think more about, based on how she spends her money, what is she like? Those kinds of things. Try to dig a little deeper. Okay, number 2, how many hours did Rufus spend traveling and meeting fans? All right, so this one is titled How Rufus Spends His Day in Hours. And we can see there's 10 hours of sleeping and napping, 2 hours of traveling, 4 hours of meeting fans, 5 hours taping his show, and 3 hours doing other things. Okay, so same thing, take a look at that. And then how many hours did Rufus spend traveling and meeting fans? So you got to look at those categories. Which ones are about traveling or meeting fans, and add those up and put your answer in there. And then the back, we have another addition sprint. You guys know how to do this. Lots of good practice. You can also do the dice and the card activity that I taught you in class to practice. I know I've been giving you a lot of addition sprints lately, so maybe use cards and dice to practice your subtraction facts. All right, so this will be what you need to work on for your math that you'll bring back to class when we're together. You'll return this. And my video with my explanation says homework, but you do not have a homework sheet. This is basically your homework sheet. All right. Okay. If you have any questions, you can meet me again at 12 o'clock on our Google Meet and I can help you out. See ya.